Good afternoon. Thank you so much for choosing the national broadcaster, and I do apologize for bringing you this newscast a little late. It is a lunchtime bulletin, and we're coming to you live, both online and on air. My name is Sandra Kahunde. Now, starting off this newscast, updates that are coming through, the State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, David Bahati, has commended the Indian community in Uganda for the huge investment that has greatly impacted the economic growth for this country. He was speaking during the Afro-Indian Investment Summit to celebrate 1,000 years of Indian Association in Uganda. Moha Rohan, the leader of the Indian Association in Uganda, has pledged the continuous support in terms of investment and attracting more investors to Uganda.
That is durable for the future generations to know about them. For example, I was told by the chairperson that the first business Indian man came here in 1903. Many of the Ugandans don't know about that. Would rather the Prime Minister is saying, Mr. Chairman, if you can document all this so that we know your journey and we take lessons and learn and appreciate you even better. I thank the Indian Association for the great contribution you have made to Uganda in many fields of business, investment, trade and industry, and even culture, and also food, sports and education. Your footprints are visible. I thank His Excellency the President, who has provided the leadership under the NRM and the environment to support the private sector in this country where you are flourishing. I want to congratulate the leaders of the association over the years for steering the association and growing it from strength to strength. We appreciate the social cooperative responsibility of the Indian Association.
Indian Association trustees, IBF and executive committee all behind. With these people, we have made this success of this business summit, and tomorrow breakaway sections are there. And we are not talking, all the business association or summits, what is happening, they come, talk and forget tomorrow and go. But we are not talked. We have raised almost $169.5 million. Letter of intents are signed today. That is our milestone. The third event, as Wahid has said, for youth, it's a sports tournament which we are doing.
Now moving on, the Swedish ambassador to Uganda, Maria Hackson, has held a role played by Ugandan and other African writers in promoting cultural activism and democracy. She was hosting Uganda Female Writers, Pan-African Writers and Makerere University Literature Department Dons at her residence in Kololo. This was part of activities to mark this year's Pan-African Writers International Day.
Uganda Female Writers Association, FemWrite, in partnership with the Pan-African Writers Association and Makerere University Literature Department, have jointly marked this year's Pan-African Writers International Day with a word of encouragement and support from the Swedish Embassy to continue with their work. Officiating at the ceremony at her residence in Kololo, the Swedish ambassador to Uganda, Maria Hackson, hailed the role played by both Ugandan and other African writers in promoting cultural activism and democracy.
The celebration of literature and culture, I think both Asade and myself, we sort of talk now and then that we both want to do much more in the cultural sector, also for the value in itself, but also linking up with people within creative sector here in Uganda, and little by little we are taking small steps in that direction.
Hilda Tongerire from FemWrite and Pan-African Writers Association Power explains the significance of marking the day.
So it was on November 7th, but we chose to hold ours today, but also linked it to one of really Africa's great writers, greatest writers, I must say, Professor Abdulrazak Guna.
Dr. Susan Kiguli and Dr. Eve Nabulia from Makerere University Literature Department gave some tips on how to boost Uganda's writing and reading culture.
All our children, right from the earliest ages, love stories, and therefore I cannot say there is no the reading culture. It is because we are to blame. We do not tell stories. We do not read stories to our children. If we do, right from the earliest age, they surely will grow a reading culture.
I think that we should build structures where children, when they are in schools, are able to have access to libraries, because you cannot expect a child to read when there is no library.
Professor Abdulrazak Guna, a celebrated Tanzanian author and also Nobel Prize winner, was also recognized in absentia during the occasion. Edward Colin Juko for UBC, Kololo.
Thank you so much for staying with us. And now a sad one coming through today, former Democratic Party president and two-time presidential candidate, Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogerere, has died at age 90, pardon me. Our reporter Wadulo McArnold now profiles the late political icon.
Paul Kawanga Semogerere, born 11th February 1932 in present-day Kalangala district in the Buganda region of Uganda, was the leader of the Democratic Party in Uganda for 25 years and one of the main players in Ugandan politics until his retirement in 2005. Semogerere was born on 11th February 1932 in Uganda. He attended St. Henry's College Kitovu for his high school. He received a diploma in education from Makerere University in Kampala. He studied the politics and government program at Allegheny College at Meadville, Pennsylvania. In 1979, he obtained a Doctor of Philosophy, degree in Public Administration from Syracuse University in Syracuse, New York. In 1961 to 1962, Semogerere was elected as a member of the Uganda Legislative Council and afterwards of the National Assembly of Uganda as Member of Parliament for North Mengo constituency. In 1972, he replaced Benedicto Chiwanuka as the leader of the Democratic Party, having previously served as his parliamentary secretary. Following the 1971 coup, Semogerere was in exile until 1979, when he returned as Minister of Labour. In 1980, Paul Semogerere assumed leadership of the Democratic Party, and in 1984 he was re-elected as leader over the challenge of Okenyi Atwoma. In response to Okenyi Atwoma's unsuccessful challenge, Atwoma established the Nationalist Liberal Party alongside former Minister Anthony Ochaya, Cuthbert Joseph Obwangor and Francis Bwenge. Semogerere was a presidential candidate in the disputed 1980 general elections, which were won by Milton Obote's Uganda People's Congress. Semogerere then became a leader of the parliamentary opposition from 1981 to 1985. He was appointed Minister of Internal Affairs during presidency of Tito Okello in 1985 to 1986. After Yoweri Kaguta Museveni became president in January 1986 following a coup, Semogerere was consecutively Minister of Internal Affairs between 1986 to 1988, Minister for Foreign Affairs in 1988 to 1994, and Public Service, and at the same time held the post of Deputy Prime Minister in Museveni's National Resistance Movement from 1986. He resigned from his government post in June 1995 because he was the presidential candidate for the mainstream opposition, but he lost the 1996 presidential elections to Museveni. Semogerere had been a delegate to the Organization for African Unity, OAU, and was chairman of the OAU Council of Ministers from 1993 to 1994. After his retirement from politics in November 2005, he was succeeded as party president by John Seba Nachisito, the mayor of Kampala at the time.
We'll keep you posted in as far as that particular information is concerned on the barrier arrangements and everything that follows after. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Now, moving on, the Archbishop of the Anglican Church, Right Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, is disappointed by the government's move to close primary teachers' colleges in Uganda. Kazimba, who is on a pastoral visit to Lango Diocese School for Courage among Christians during tribulations. Among other activities, Kazimba laid a wreath on Cecilia Gwal's late mother's burial, who built the first church in Adok before passing on in the year 2015.
Marching with the ululations are the Christians of Lango Diocese welcoming His Grace the Archbishop of Uganda. Right Reverend Dr. Stephen Samuel Kazimba Mugalu is in the diocese for a 4-day pastoral visit. He opted to live among the flock and spent a night 50 kilometers away from town. He was hosted by the Dokolo Woman MP's family in Adok for 2 nights. Kazimba applauded the immense contribution of the family in supporting the church. They built a twin church for both Catholics and Anglican in Adok sub-county.
They can build a church here for the Roman Catholic and a church this side for the Anglican. And the other church and the other developments in the region. I have been impressed to see that they come back home and support the community instead of being in Kampala or Jinja or where. I think this is something to emulate, that when we are somewhere, when you're blessed somewhere, let us not forget home. Come back and support the people.
But Cecilia Gwal says the support for the church roots back to their parents. The first Anglican church in Adok was built by her mother, Rosemary Opio, even when her husband was Catholic.
We wanted unity to start from home. And as I speak now, there's no difference between Catholic and Anglican in Adok.
The Church of Uganda has honored my late mother. She was very faithful in the work of God, and she constantly reminded us that we should always help church workers. So that's what you don't have to preach to us. We know it and we feel it.
Now the Archbishop called upon parents to inculcate in their children good values.
God is doing a new thing. Let all of us jump and work together.
He later proceeded to commission the Dokolo Archdeaconry headquarters, also built by Cecilia Gwal's twin brothers.
So it is our way of work, not even churches only. Sometimes we do for orphans and widows.
And for the Diocese of Lango, he appreciates the Diocese of Lango that much as we speak the word, but we also have a symbol of the whole, which we are saying, pray and also work hard.
Actually, as a Christian, I would think his coming should unite us.
I pray that
hundreds surrendered their lives to Jesus after a powerful 3-minute sermon in Dokolo district. Kazimba charged the Christians to embrace the message in Isaiah chapter 43 verse 18. He says God is doing a new thing in Uganda.
Don't take your husband to witch doctor. I pray. Whenever my husband has gone with another woman, would you please give him a running stomach?
Kazimba is also disappointed by government's move to close all the PTCs in the country.
You have really helped the devil to kill the people. So I want to call upon the government that instead of closing, they should consider elevating so that these colleges become core PTC. Instead of closing them, they support them. And I'm specifically concerned that most of the PTCs they are closing are for Anglican Church. Even when they are performing better, that there is a lot of imbalance.
The Archbishop ended his 4-day pastoral tour today in Lira at the diocesan headquarters in Boroboro. Eddie Olwal, UBC News.
Away from the regional updates, bringing you back to the central. Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety of Police says the recently intensified crackdown on errant motorists, especially the border riders, has started paying off. Kaumanse Rogers, the KMP traffic commander, says so far the operation has seen more of motorists, mainly border riders, appreciating the importance of wearing crash helmets and reflector jackets for safety.
The Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety Police renewed efforts to check on the many fatal accidents that allegedly accrue from avoidable and reckless mannerisms of errant motorists across the country. With the launch, motorists operating in Kampala Central Business Area were top on the list of culprits. A week later, the crackdown has been praised for restoring sanity.
I want to report that we are happy about what is happening now in the city. So many riders are compliant. You see them with their helmets and their reflector jackets.
Kampala Metropolitan Police Traffic Commander ASP Kaumanse sings praises for compliant motorists, at the same time cautioning those who are non-compliant to behave accordingly.
Call upon all of them to ensure that they make this as a discipline whenever they are coming on road, knowing that they should be armed with their reflector jacket and a helmet. It's for their safety, it's not for the safety of the officers on the road, no.
ASP Kauma also shed light on the rules governing public transport systems.
V for a taxi is a 14-seater license. You get it. Or for a border, it is a 1-seater license. But you find them carrying 2 people, 3, while it is not permitted by law.
Recently, the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety of Police started releasing accident footages captured on CCTVs for public consumption. Kampala Metropolitan Police Traffic Commander ASP Kauma says, as a directorate, they would love to display these footages on street screens for the benefit of motorists, but lack of resources to pay for the screens stands in their way.
You know, displaying on these billboards in the city, it takes money. Yeah, so maybe we can get some development partners who will want to come aboard on things to do with road safety and maybe support us in that line. It will be a very good idea.
According to police reports, in a period of 9 months, over 1,000 border riders died in road crashes, taking with them about 400 passengers. Dorcas Kimono, UBC TV News.
With Dorcas's story, we take a short break, and when I return, more updates for the day. Keep watching.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77# or use the Momo app to register.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too!
Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude. It's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. Pleasure to have your company. Now on to the business updates this Friday afternoon. Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries has handed over 930,200 doses of foot and mouth disease vaccines to 22 districts in the cattle corridor. Now handing over the vaccines, Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebaze, said they will be able to adopt the ring vaccination strategy for the ring vaccination strategy of precautionary management of the disease.
Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebaze, has cautioned district veterinary officers against imposing illegal charges for vaccination to farmers. Tumwebaze made the remarks while handing over vaccines of foot and mouth disease destined to the cattle corridor, saying the business of charging poor farmers vaccines that are already paid for by government must stop.
Government is investing whatever it can to ensure that your crops, to ensure that your animals, and to ensure that your fish resources are safe. All we need and ask you as farmers is compliance and discipline. Why do we vaccinate against FMD? First of all, we are lucky that we can vaccinate against it. There are some diseases which are not vaccinatable. This one is. And we are now aggressively kicking out FMD in Uganda.
The minister said the foot and mouth disease vaccine will give livestock farmers strong foundations that will enable them compete favorably in the regional and international market.
I'd like to send a message and appeal to our trading partners that we are eradicating FMD in our country through periodic and regular vaccination. And soon we shall be rolling out even a much bigger program of making vaccination mandatory. As long as we sort the budgets and the lines of vaccines, one may ask, why is government the ones involved in giving these vaccines? Why are we not liberalizing the sector? We've been refusing to do that because biological substances are not an easy good to allow anybody to trade in.
The district veterinary officer, Mpigi District, Dr. Daniel Kasibule, appreciated government for the timely interventions geared towards launching Uganda to the external market.
Honorable Minister, we are hereby assuring you that as the veterinarians, we are going to supply this vaccine in a timely fashion, convenient fashion, whereby farmers will get covered. All the animals will be covered timely to ensure that this disease disappears from our flock.
We have a lot of market and people asking for market in the Middle East.
for our livestock, especially the small ruminants. We are already taking meat to other countries like Oman. So we need to work together as a team. The veterinary profession, if you have not worked before, work hard now, because our contribution to the GDP must increase.
Veterinary officers were implored to do the work well to boost Uganda's access to lucrative dairy markets and eventually kick out foot and mouth disease from Uganda. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now more from business before we let you go and enjoy your day. African Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services, in a partnership with her Ugandan chapter, Uganda Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services, have awarded a youth that excelled in innovating ICTs for agriculture extension. This was through the continental and the national hackathon, where AFAS are sought to promote open source concepts among developers in the agriculture sector as a way to speed up growth of the ICT innovations ecosystem in Africa.
Your pitch has to be We are pleased that these digital solutions, which are enabling our agriculture extension service providers to do their service efficiently, to reach the last mile in real time, but also a solution that can help farmers access information wherever they are. We have given now opportunities to young IT scientists to work together with agricultural scientists to develop ideas that can really help farmers. So this is a game changer, and we know that together with us, universities and IT developers, we are going to be at the front line of making sure our countries who rely a lot on agriculture and who actually service smallholder farmers can actually have these services reach the millions of smallholders very quickly and wherever they are.
The presentations that they made were very exciting, and we are seeing a breakthrough in the problem of having few numbers on the ground of agriculture extension and advisors farmers who help farmers to provide information and knowledge and skills. So I'm happy that the young people are coming up to provide, to develop ICT solutions that can help us to easily and quickly pass on information and knowledge to the farmers.
Yeah, basically Smart Crop Calendar focuses on advising farmers on smart ways on when to plant and when to do other farm activities based on actual data. Yeah, the issue is we want to remove the issue whereby people have to guess what to plant and when to plant, yeah, by basing on actual facts to advise them to do all their planting and the whole cycle.
We are so thankful to AFAS and also UFAS in particular for granting us this opportunity to take part in this hackathon, and also Dostream for facilitating this whole activity. We believe that this solution, having been recognized on the country level and continental level, it will help us to bring more farmers on board, because a lot of techniques, climate smart agriculture techniques are out there, but people cannot access them.
Wow.
It's okay.
Congratulations. And,
yeah, it's okay.
Okay. We work towards 20K now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
More current affairs will be coming your way later on in our timely subsequent hours, in our timely subsequent bulletins. It's been a pleasure spending time with you. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and of course, from the entire team behind the scene, wish you a beautiful afternoon. Keep watching UBC.